So I wanted to take advantage of the fact that as the First Lady, yes, you can be smart and educated and beautiful and sexy and interesting and all those things. And yes, you can be a black woman, a tall 5'11" black woman. Did you see the shoulder? You missed that. Did you see that?
As I said, it's a beautiful book, and many of the photos were taken in the East Wing.
Yes.
And Betty Ford
Remember
once
that?
said, yeah. Vaguely.
But let me tell you, Stephen, people have asked me how I felt about the move, and what I will remind people is that house is not our house. We never viewed it as our house. We were there for a time, we had a job to do, we always felt it was the people's house. And the notion that, but the thing that it makes me confused. I am confused by what are our norms? What are our standards? What are our traditions? I just feel like what is important to us as a nation anymore, because I'm lost. West Wing was work. Sometimes it was sadness. It was problems. It was the guts of the White House. And the East Wing was where you felt light.
Let's talk about former First Lady Michelle Obama, because she's complaining again. This time, she's insisting that her family didn't get the grace that other first families got. Listen to this.
You said we were all too aware that as a first black couple, we couldn't afford any missteps.
Yeah.
And you also say, as a black woman, I was under a particularly white hot glare. Did you feel that?
For sure. You can't afford to get anything wrong because you didn't get at least until the country came to know us, we didn't get the grace that I think some other families have gotten.
CJ, doesn't she love to play that victim card? The truth is, the Obamas were treated far better than other families, and you look at the way Michelle Obama was treated compared to Melania Trump. I mean, you can't even compare it.
You know, it's their favorite card in their wallet, the race card, right? And to be quite frank, you know, you look at the treatment of Melania Trump, who is probably, inarguably, objectively, one of the most beautiful first ladies we've ever seen, who has been boycotted by every major fashion magazine from their covers, right? Yet they have folks like Hillary Clinton on them, and, you know, folks like her on them, that they hail as like the second coming of Christ. It's absolutely insane. I also am old enough to remember when you had, you know, folks on the left like, you know, Kathy Griffin, whose name I actually struggle to remember there because of how irrelevant she's become, who was musing about the death of President Trump, and also basically speculating about whether or not Barron Trump suffered from a mental disability. Like these were people who were openly saying these things without any shame, without any embarrassment, because they felt as if they had a permission slip to do so. So this entire like, oh, we felt as if we were mistreated. I'm sure Barron Trump felt mistreated. I'm sure Eric Trump and Don Jr. felt mistreated when they had to endure the lawfare at the hands of the Biden DOJ that they were subjected to. And not just the lawfare under the Biden DOJ, but also the deep state when President Trump was even in the White House from the bowels of the Department of Justice here in the States. And so, yeah, I honestly, I don't know who she's trying to convince with this narrative, but I'm not buying it. I don't think many of the American people are either.
No, absolutely not. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who somehow has a net worth of hundreds of millions of dollars, has gone on CNN to rant about Donald Trump for, something new. And she called him the worst thing on the face of the earth. Watch this.
He's just a vile creature. The worst thing on the face of the earth. But anyway.
You think he's the worst thing on the face of the earth?
I do, yeah. I do.
Why is that?
Because he's the President of the United States and he does not honor the Constitution of the United States. In fact, he's turned the Supreme Court into a rogue court. He's abolished the House of Representatives.
The fact that you've got CNN pushing back against what Nancy Pelosi is saying about Donald Trump says a lot, doesn't it? But really, to describe him as the worst thing on the face of the earth, how many global conflicts has the president solved just this year? Bringing historic peace to the Middle East? Anyone? Cracking down on crime in liberal cities?
Right, exactly that. And I would actually describe the worst person on the face of the earth as one of the left's passionate followers who killed Charlie Kirk, who's currently sitting in a jail in the state of Utah. So maybe Nancy needs to, open her eyes and into the reality that we currently find ourselves in as a country. But here's the deal. All of these people know how to do is speak in hyperbole and absolutely just live in a constant state of crashing out. Like it's actually unwell. These people need Xanax. Like to say with a straight face, he's abolished the House of Representatives, a body of which she is a member, a body of which, she reports to work, not often, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for us, but, it's actually crazy. These people just lie straight through their teeth. And what she actually should be doing is encouraging her colleagues in the United States Senate to reopen our government so that our military service members can actually get paid, so that, folks that are, getting government benefits that actually need it, not folks that are using it and abusing it, but actually need it, children don't go hungry. But instead, she wants to go on CNN and spread these lies about President Trump. They're absolutely divorced from reality. Give me a break.
Democrat John Fetterman is having none of it, slamming Nancy Pelosi for her comments. Listen to this.
I would say that's part of the worst creatures on the face of the earth are Hamas or like the leadership of Iran, or there's a lot of people on that. I would never use those kind of terms, and I wouldn't describe our president. You can really disagree with him, and I do disagree, but I don't think that's really entirely appropriate, but that's her words for that. So for me, that's just a different kinds of a Democrat for me. I don't going to call people they're fascists, they're Nazis, or compare the people in those kinds of terms.
He makes sense, CJ. And John Fetterman, he's also blasted Democrats, arguing that they need to own their role in the federal government shutdown.
He is, and God bless him for it. Every time he opens his mouth, he's beginning to sound more and more like a Republican. So hopefully, I think he'll find his way over here. We'll welcome him with open arms. He may have to wear a suit if he becomes a Republican, but, we'll take him as he is.